says going live. And it says you're live.
So we're now go reviewing.
Go reviewing. Dun, 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 dun. Go.
Don't you hate Power Rangers?
I absolutely despise Power Rangers.
Okay.
Hi guys.
That's how we start this week.
Yep, not a fan. Anyway, but you guys are a fan of not only Trekyards, but of Lower Decks, and we're here to talk about the latest episode, episode 7, Much Ado About Boimler. So
yes.
Yeah.
Well, I never try and know these titles ahead of time, for whatever reason. So it's kind of fun to be able to be like, oh, that's what it's called. I get that. Cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I usually find out like maybe the night before or like the day of, but I never look for the title first, which makes the speculation videos more fun sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
absolutely. So yeah, guys, if you haven't already, then make sure to go and look at our edited review. It's nice, condensed, formal, fun, graphics, all the good stuff. We just as a premiere live to it. The people in the chat got to watch it live. About 150 people to watch it live and enjoy with you all. But now go do look and comment and say hey. But now we're here doing it live, which will be even more informative.
And you can interact too. Like, look, we got a super chat from Olivia Julius, which is awesome. $5.
Thank you.
Great news! I upgraded the pug. Now it wants unlimited likes. Hit like, everyone.
Yeah, we keep making new monsters to. But the puppy, the dog was nice. The dog was the dog.
Love the name, the dog.
Yeah. There's a lot of small things in this episode.
They should have named the dog DOG. DOG. A friend of mine has a cat that's named DOG, which is DOG, which is dog. But you say DOG. DOG.
DOG.
Whatever. Yeah. So.
And yes, we've already filmed some other videos, so do look forward to that stuff. And if you guys did not notice or did notice that I was in uniform, we had to review, as I did do for Picard as well, twice. I'd hoped to be able to do that when they actually did the full flashback, because I was like, ooh, first time we see this, if they show TNG one, I'll jump in as well. But wasn't around yet, so but this time, Pleasant Strive did get a first contact uniform, so I said to jump into that. So if you like me in my uniform, brand new uniform, if you thought it looked good, please do comment in that video as well to see more potentially.
Mm-hmm.
And Stuart, I will start showing if you start chatting to the audience and say hey.
I can do that.
Okie dokie.
Hey. See, he thinks that I should be talking to you, which I should be, but anyway, guys, hit that like button if you can. That's one of the best ways to help us out, just hitting the like button and showing your support for the channel. Make sure you're subscribed with the notification bell icon selected to all as well. That's also very good. But yeah, super chats are a great way to get your comment read, your voice heard, your question answered, all that fun stuff. You guys know the routine by now. Hit that like button and send a super chat if you're able to, or send a PayPal. The PayPal information is in the description of each video. Just send a PayPal to Trekyards. No, send a PayPal to trekyards@hotmail.com and let us know in the chat that you sent a PayPal. We will read that via the email for the super chat, so we can read your comment or question there as well. So it's another way to do it, or just check out all the cool stuff in the description of every video. We got the Teespring store, which we can actually put I can put a merchandise thing like a mug. I can do that and pin that merchandise to the top of the chat. So you guys can go check out the Teespring store and check out some of the cool merchandise that we have available. Lots of cool stuff to buy, and good way to support the channel as well. So lots of ways to support us and help us out. So if you can, please do. Also share the videos around and just share the word of Trekyards everywhere you can to people you think that would enjoy it. So anyway, so I'm going to leave that mug up there. I'm showcasing the mug, it says. So let me know how that looks for you guys. Alyssa Jericho says, I'm drinking a Monster as well, the yellow one. I'm not drinking a Monster. Samuel is, but I'm not. I'm drinking something else, which is a mystery. But that's okay. So yeah, we'll get into episode 7 as soon as Samuel gets back. Now, if you haven't checked out our edited review, it's a lot shorter, obviously, and more to the point. And if you guys are interested in that kind of thing, and you think that people might like that, share it around as well. And as I mentioned last night in the first reaction review, share the Mike McMahon videos around, the interviews, the three interviews we did with him. Well, it's one interview broken up into 3 pieces, because we plan on getting him back for the end of the season. And if they see that those interviews are generating a lot of views and discussion, which they have been. People have been tweeting at Mike McMahon on Twitter to say it's good to see you on Trek Yards. Consider going back to Trek Yards to talk to them, because they're good guys talking about Trek, and obviously you like Trek as well. So share those videos around. Do you?
Yeah, that was my first time, because I've been avoiding the new Facebook skin because it's awful, much slower. So I keep reverting to the old one, but it's now finally stopped that. So I was trying to work out how do I post on multiple pages with the new crappy skin, and it's slower and less efficient. Thanks, Facebook.
I still don't have the new skin.
Well, enjoy it. Every aspect is slower. It's probably better for phones, but it's worse for things. And normally I can just I can go to the left, or go to the left and tab into every group. But now I can't. I've got to manually one at a time. It won't let me create a new tab or anything. So yeah. Much less good.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that's why it took longer. I was like, oh, damn, I haven't done this yet. Because
it gives me more chance to talk to the audience by myself without you here.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Yeah. So, yes, Joe. 83 people, only 50 likes. I mean, I think we should get at least 60 to celebrate the move into reviewness. But still, yeah, so we've already talked about it briefly. I now have done a second watch. How many watches have you had of this episode?
How many watches have I had of this episode?
Yeah.
4.
Okay. Cool.
No, 5, actually. 5. Yeah.
And what did you think? Now you've had even more of a day to mull it over after we had our long chat.
It's still good. It's still a fun episode for sure. It is in my top tier of the better episodes from Lower Decks, but again, once we get to the season end and we can put all 10 in some kind of order, it'll be interesting to see, because there's no real bad episodes, just when compared to other ones from the show, but there's still, most of these are better. I'd rather watch any of these than some episodes of Discovery. So
well, that's the thing, isn't it? That's why the scores, that's why we do 2 scores, one for Trek and one for whatever. And once we go back and do now we can do all of Trek, I feel like, because now we've got a place to judge the show from. So probably at the end of the season, when we do our retrospective, we can probably review where would the other ones fit in the whole greater Star Trek. Although considering we've now got 8, 9, 10, 3 more, and the amount of next time on things that are still yet to be seen is a lot, especially this last next time on and the trailer. It's a very packed last 3. So where they are in your rankings is probably going to change with the last 3, and I think we can hope. Now, did this episode get better or worse or change in your multiple viewings? Because I know that they do change depending a little bit.
Got maybe a little worse with more viewings. I seemed to be more into it the first time I watched it for sure. But yeah, it does seem kind of all over the place, and it could have been more focused, I think. But overall, I mean, it's still got some interesting elements to it.
Would you not compare it to the first episode in that regard? That there's a lot of story and nothing had a lot of depth, and they kind of went all over the place. I mean, more so than other ones. I mean, it was more focused.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I did like the zombie outbreak a little bit more than let's say the freaks in this one as far as story goes. But the whole Mariner and Boimler on the planet thing in the first episode really bugged me a lot. Didn't really catch my interest.
Probably didn't know them yet. I think if you'd watched it now, it would be totally different.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I'll have to go back and rewatch a lot of these. So
so for me, this one, and I've rewatched it. I don't know how I feel differently on the second one or not. It's, for me, definitely middle of the road. Nothing in it particularly got me going. Nothing it was bad, but I think all of the plots were underdeveloped, which they normally are pretty good in this show. In fact, rewatching it, you realise, with Brad, all the point of that plot is just to see the stuff he sees and then done. Like there's nothing happening really, and he doesn't really add anything to it. And the Tindy stuff is really nothing more than the smallest joke, and the main stuff is the Mariner and other lady. But it's still something about the way that the being at the end, while they're worried about the destruction of it, it somehow for me in the second watch still feels a bit hollow. They never seem to worry about the ship itself. They never mention, oh, we lost a ship. There's I mean, they clearly didn't beam the entire crew off the bridge, so most of the crew got killed. Never bring that up. So
That's a good point. Yeah.
There's a whole lack of substance. They're doing a lot, but it doesn't quite. And I'd be fine to see the entire episode, which is just those two, Mariner and friend, looking into a destroyed ship, etc., etc. Or and the freaks. While the kid grandpa guy is fun. I definitely would like to have seen more with the group, given more personality, more recognizable illnesses, things we've seen before. Also, we got Andrew, was it the Warp 10?
Anthony,
the Warp 10 salamander, which is great. I laughed every time I saw him because he's just such a stupid, wonderful joke. But it doesn't. It's a lot of pieces that don't quite fit, and there's no great exciting bit. Like even the end when they're running through the ship, none of the lines are about running through the ship. It's about Mariner being unambitious. So you very quickly don't care about the ship being destroyed because they're not focusing on it. They're going to be fine. They don't care. They know they're going to be fine, and so you sort of disconnect from that as well. So for a second watch, so it's lots of pieces, doesn't quite. Whereas the first episode, lots of pieces, but they all come together at the end for a very satisfying end. That's why I think that one works better for me because it comes to a strong whole at the end. So yeah, middle of the road for me.
Yeah. Tom Casey, $2. Love Lower Decks, but least favorite episode so far for me. Fleet Pause Swiftback, $2. Never Fear, Fleet Pause here. Loved this one.
Yes, you're good.
I want to address Jill's comment, or the Borg smelled like old trash bags. The visiting alien in Ramsey's team looks more Regillian from Demons and Terra Prime than Jayla from Beyond. Oh, there you go.
I have seen some pictures, and it's more of a hybrid of many different designs. Not directly, if you do them side by side, doesn't quite, but familiar. But it's familiar to a few things, which is kind of fun in its own way. Yeah.
And Luke Celeste throws in $10. This episode is a month early. Would have been a good one for Halloween.
Huh.
Just because of the dog?
I mean, I'm very happy that first scene wasn't the tone of the entire thing.
Yeah, no kidding.
So this episode definitely avoids a few of the pitfalls that I would have done, but it didn't get to the exciting bit. I don't know. I mean, what was the most exciting bit for you? Like I say, it didn't quite grab me on that level. What bit would you make? What bit got you that isn't getting me? Do you think, excitement-wise?
What bit got me? What was the most exciting thing in this episode? Just kind of running it through my head, the whole thing. I'd say probably the ship at the end turning into the creature.
Yeah.
Just because that was such a cool idea to kind of use a starship to procreate or to create a new. I think that was interesting. Although they said we're in it right now, so did it attach itself to the ship? Because you didn't see anything outside the ship, But
my assumption is that it laid a space egg inside it, and then it grew it inside the ship. I mean, it's a thing. It's a thing with no depth. So obviously, we don't know what happened. How could we?
Yeah. Prime 1351 $5. Didn't the doctor come up with a cure for salamander? Yes, he did. But they weren't salamanders for very long. Maybe this guy's been past that point. Who knows?
Well, I made a joke to you earlier. I don't know why I made this joke, but it could be a mirror universe salamander. And that one single bit of difference means the cure won't work. Because you can kind of say whatever you want with that. But I mean, of all the things, Warp 10 technology would be, classified. Because yes, you can go anywhere. Remember, it was successful. It just had a side effect. So, classified, and then the doctor knows how to do it. And
Yeah.
hey, and wouldn't it be kind of cool actually, as a way of like a post credit, if it cuts to. So he's actually the doctor's actually at the. That's Robert Picard's cameo. He's got one line. He's at the farm and he injects the salamander and it's like Captain Sisko or someone. It's like, or it's like it's Tom Paris. He's like, Mr. Paris, you did it again. What? That would have been a good payoff, wouldn't it? It's like just all of a sudden, why not? That'd have been perfect. In a stupid way, but perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sad now.
Old Taku DD, Trek Yards, do you think Mariner got an early career start like Wesley? Heck, her parents might have even heard about Wesley and tried to duplicate his success with their daughter. No, I think because, her parents are obviously, one's an admiral, one's a captain. I don't know how long they've been that and how old she was at the time, but I can see them being quite like pushing her through Starfleet, and then it gets to the point where she wants to do really well, does really well, and then at the same time resents what her parents are doing to her. So kind of says, screw it. I don't want to do that now. Because when your parents push you to do things, sometimes you kind of get a little resentful and you don't want to do that, right? So
and it's definitely a multi-leveled why. But I can see the dad getting captain obviously first. I'm assuming that the mum might have been his second in command and they went through ranks together. Maybe he was second in command when she was something else and they ranked, so that's why she was younger there. He's been admiral for 10. Yeah, so I think they're probably on the same ship together and then they kind of maybe even field promotion to ensign, whatever. Who knows? But yeah, I could see. And in fact, you can almost argue, maybe they're doing. Maybe it was intentional. This is the equivalent of what a Wesley happens when you don't have a good upbringing. Like the person said, instant Starfleet, instant.
Wesley was shit too, though, with a good upbringing, because he caused the accident and lied about it, and then he left Starfleet to bugger off with the Traveler. Like that's not.
But he came back for the wedding in a uniform, so he's fine now.
But did he? I know he did, but did he?
But did he? Stuart, that was not a deleted scene, so that is in the show.
Well, yeah, I guess.
But I mean, this one, it's okay. It had some good bits, but you said about it, it's convoluted.
Yeah.
And not in a very... Because also, the Boimler plot doesn't link to the main plot. The beaming does, which is good. That was set up. Unlike the first episode, everything links. Boimler's just doing his own thing. Like if it had been the whatever the NX ship thingy came and saved them at the end or something, But there's no payoff for that. None. It's weird.
Yeah. The Trembler. I'd rate this episode. It does what it tries to do fine. A few points. It was on thin ice. A few new things done pretty well, but mainly it was a workhorse and O'Brien rather than Kirk. Well,
O'Brien's the most important person in the galaxy, so I mean that's high praise, but he didn't mean to be high praise. But yeah, no, I agree. But the thing is though, if we get the friend captain back, and if we get the anti-series alien is a.
Oh, the Endosian.
If we get both those people back, it'll be stronger in retrospect. Because it's a good setup for both of them if you get them later. That would be good. And I think
Ramses was great. I really loved her character. Yeah.
Oh, is that name Ramses?
That's the cap.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. If you bring her back, it'll mean more. Because they don't say she's on a California class. Why would she be? I mean, everyone is on a California class, almost. But yeah, hopefully some other ships. So we get some more ships.
The Trembler, $5.
Hey, again.
Technically, we don't know if the Salamandation had the same cause, or if it's a non-fully human officer adding up complications. That's a very good point. Yes, could be an Endorian.
Yeah, that's true. Because we know nothing. His name's Andrew. We don't know anything. That's it. That's all we know.
Anthony
Andrew. That's all. Anthony Andrews. That's all we know. There's no. Did you hear at the end when he's getting pampered? He's like he gives like a purr and everything. It's like, oh, well, you can tell he's slimy and everything, can't you?
Yeah. 115 people here and excellent. 70. Hit that like button if you haven't already.
Like it.
And I faded out. God damn it. Anyway. Fleet Paw Swiftback puts $2. We hit 50. Warp 10 Salamanders for the win. # make Fleet Paw pay.
Yeah.
And Scott Purdy puts in £5. Mariner's story reminded me of Tapestry and Picard as an ensign that never ranked up. Maybe
Mm?
Q has done the same with Mariner. Oh, there you go.
I mean, no,
I
but I
mean,
like it.
yeah, in some universe somewhere, she's a captain for sure by now.
Oh, yeah, we could do the reverse tapestry.
That
That'd
might
be
be the Mirror Universe episode with the Klingon ship. Maybe she's a captain.
yeah. So it's
Dun,
like,
dun, dun.
just so you know, Mariner, if you were truly on course to be captain, you end up being not only a captain, but you become a pirate, head pirate, take over the. That'd be fun. That would be a reverse tapestry where the moral story is no, stay low, stay as low as you can for safety of everyone around you. That's great. That'd be fun.
Mhm.
I would buy that.
Yeah. Well, let's get into it.
Okay.
They start out, they're
I was
exhausted. They're
right.
going to bed. Yes, good call. And what did they say they were doing? They said,
Oh,
who knew
stay.
repairing the station grid would involve so much sprinting?
Doesn't mean anything. Don't know what that means.
No.
But I was right. I said they're not. Why would they be in uniform sleeping? They look so tired. It's got to be a thing. I bet it's pre-title. I bet it's just them coming off. They're going to say a stupid line about something doing something stupid. Wasn't quite as stupid as I hoped, but exactly what I thought, and I'm happy about that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then the dog, of course, shows up, and we hear Tindy. She's so excited because she
Yeah.
has this side project for medical that she's been doing.
If she
And
doesn't go
Boimler
to the
say, "How do
loo,
you even find the
doesn't go to the loo.
yeah? How do you even find the time for that?" Well, sometimes when I say I'm going to the washroom, I'm working on this. But yeah, so she built the dog from scratch
Yes.
to be like a human dog.
Mm-hmm.
And I love how she leaves, and Rutherford's like, "Guys, she's just messing with us. This is an actual real dog." And
Mm-hmm.
and then it does the whole demon thing and like crawls on the ceiling.
The first time I watched this, I thought she had said no. It is in dialogue, but I thought she said she'd modified a dog. But the fact it was actually from a piece of carbon to dog is even more impressive.
Yeah, yeah.
She basically creates life and even more powerful life. So yeah, actually undersung, talented right there.
Well, she says she hand edited all 6 million sequences. That's or 6 billion sequences.
Mm-hmm.
So each one she bullshit. No, that would take forever. But anyway, it was just funny. So
It's a good thing, and the way she talks, where she like says, "Oh, I'm gonna go away and bring you guys some information." She like does a snort. It's cute. It's good. This is her showing how good as medical she is because we have not really had much of that. So I liked it, although I wish we had more of her in it. And like I said, I'm very happy that when the dog turns, this is a good scene. For what it is, it's a good scene. But I'm so happy we don't get the horror because it could have just been this dog running around the ship like an alien, and trying to kill it. And that would have been sad to me. But no, we go straight out of that. And I kind of like Mariner's line. It's like, oh, just wake me up that it's actually a threat. So it's like, yeah, okay.
yeah,
I get it. I like it. That's a good line.
wake me up when it's something I need to worry about.
Oh my god. And then, Stuart, this makes me laugh. The many tactical specialty prime officers are training, learning, specialty. And they've all been hand selected to be undercover planters. People that plant seeds.
Yes.
But I love it because in second watching, the context is this is a disputed planet and they're undercover, secret going there to plant seeds, maybe at the right time. Super secretly, very important. She's very serious. It's very important.
Mm-hmm.
I love the tone. It's like, dude, just planting seeds. I love it. It's so stupid. Like, they take it so seriously. It's ridiculous.
Yes, and then the undercover uniforms and are kind of a callback to the ones we see
They are callbacks, yeah.
wearing in Chain of Command.
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right. Yes. Chain of Command. Woohoo. Angelica was even mentioned at one point. But yeah, when I heard they're leaving the Cerritos, but there'll be a temporary transfer of command to a visiting captain, I was like, oh my God, this will be awesome. It'll be somebody we know. It'll be a captain we know, or Ensign Kim shows up as a captain, something.
That would have been good. That would have been fun. Yeah.
It would have been. And that's what I was hoping for like the minute or two that we had where we didn't know who was coming. Yeah. But nope. Oh, well. But the whole babysitting captain, it's like the supply teacher you get at school.
100%.
Yeah, yeah. So everybody can relate to that.
Although you wonder, so what's so she's not obviously this other captain is not on a mission then, being pulled away from her ship to this ship. I know she makes this offhand comment. Well, I couldn't not do a water purification mission. I can't turn those down. But it's just weird. Like, why would you know?
Mm.
That's why I said to you in our previous review. I like that there are captains on standby. They don't have active ships that just are there to be substitute captains. But if she has her own ship, then well, her ship needs a substitute ship captain. Captain, unless it's just in dock. The show says it's in dock, and if it's it's just a bit weird. Not a big deal. Just I like the idea more of it being a full substitute rather than being anything too serious.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And I don't even mind the butt kissing line. I actually found that kind of like okay. You know
Just
what?
want a new butt to kiss. Yeah.
And he's proud to kiss their butt. I think he wants promotion and a new captain. I mean, Mariner was almost sniped and brought onto a different ship. So if you impress somebody, they can say, "Oh, I want this person." So clearly, it's a way of getting promotion.
The one thing that really made me laugh here, though, was the dog that turned into the cube, thunk, 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 around the corner, and then Boimler was just like, anyway, yeah, so I'm into it.
Mm-hmm.
It was such a great distraction.
It's like, okay, cool. Yep, no, it's good. Again, the dog is a gentle joke throughout. Never quite is great, but it wasn't bad, and that was a hard line to do. But speaking of, we go to the engine, we go to the repair bay, and yeah, we get straight into this subplot. We kind of guessed it'd be right at the start, and it is. He's doing transporter, and we get to see multiple haircut McGee. Don't know if they were trying to link to anything. They kind of like just whatever's to me. But I love the fact that he wants to help his friend. He's instantly in there. It's obviously to impress the ship, but he wants to help. Good team. But the logic of I like Rutherford's logic is like, well, the Mariner won't do it because he needs to test it, but I can't test it without people. I mean, these are fair arguments. Like you can test it with proto people, carbon, material, whatever. But you won't really know until you test the real people. So it's like it's a fair enough argument. Thing is, he's an ensign. He's acting well above his pay grade in terms of like genius level. Hence why, of course, it's not going to work.
Well, he's trying to improve the speed by 0.07 seconds. It's like,
yes,
yeah, I guess it's an eternity when you're transporting. But Olivia Julius puts in $10.
Oh, thank you.
Because of this research, this is how Fleet Pod designed the evil pug and unleashed it into the Jeffries tube, I think is what you meant to say. The only way to keep the pug calm and nice is to hit like. We have 91 likes, 127 people watching. We need 9 more likes, guys, to hit 100. We can do that because there's 9 of you out there that have not hit like yet. So do it.
Yes, please. Click like. But it does work first
yeah,
time.
So and he's like, don't do it again, do it. Boim me up. So that's like a new thing. Instead of beam, it's the boim. Mm-hmm.
And then it does not go well. And we get lens flare.
Well, he's only off by like 0.1 Cochrane's, right?
I mean, it's hey, but that last 0.1 is the skin color.
Millicochrane off. 1 millicochrane off. Sorry, 1 millicochrane.
And for what it's worth, I think this is an absolutely fine transporter storyline because we've just never seen it before. What happens if you don't beam? If you only beam back 99%? Okay, now we know. It's a simple one, but I like it. It's effective. And I do like the fact that he's not actually out of phase. It's something very literal. He literally is just his molecules aren't quite solid.
Aligned, yeah.
Like, he's got transparency filters set up. But he can touch things. He's not going to fall through the floor. And they treat it very much as like, basically he's got a blue tan.
But that sound was irritating.
Yes.
And I love how every once in a while you see like one of the. Yeah, I love how every once in a while you see one of the swirls like whoosh, go around him. Yeah. That's good. But yeah.
Good. Well done, guys. Thanks.
I can't hear you now. You blew out your speaker. You blew out your microphone.
Oh.
You're still quiet.
Oh. Hello.
There we go. It's raising up now.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Guys, you can listen to me.
So we get introduced to the new captain, and it turns out it's her friend from the academy, Amina. So Amina Ramses is the captain's name, And
She brings many aliens with her, including Commander Shepard herself as the Vulcan, which is cool to, can't go away from that voice in terms of obvious. Well, it's kind of fun. That, I wonder why Mara is actually on the bridge. These are lower decks officers, or it's a very manned bridge. Same in Boimler, he walks on, but it's like, do you really both have assignments on the bridge, given how much crap you have to do normally? But yeah, were you surprised, Stuart? Because they know each other.
I was surprised, and I was more surprised the fact that they went to the academy together, and this one's a captain now. And Mariner is even like, yeah, get those title bumps, girl. Like, she's all excited for her to be captain.
Yeah.
And it seems to be that way until she becomes her number one, and then it's like, oh shit, what did I just do? But even the other Ramses is like, yeah, I'm kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
It's like,
well, she
really?
just got promoted as well. You can tell, like fresh off the paperwork.
Yeah.
And then what does
I even got a team.
Yeah. And what does the Vulcan say? Because she's obviously been bragging about Mariner, her best friend at the academy. What does she counter with?
Well, she says, yeah, she speaks fondly of your time at the academy. And then the captain says, yeah, in planetary action, you're the best, or whatever, and look damn good doing it. And then, yeah, Durga, the Vulcan's name, curious that you're still an ensign. Ooh, sting.
But I mean, I don't know why she's that offended. She's literally demoted herself in this show, But it is such a dig. And I was wondering that, I don't know if it was intentional, but in this particular sequence and this particular shot, both these character models look incredibly similar. I'm guessing that was intentional, as if, people tend to, it's like you think of like sororities, a lot of people look the same, etc. So I'm wondering if they were friends because they look quite similar. I mean, there's only so many ways you can draw people, but like in this particular view, it's like they're mostly the same character model.
Well, the eyes are a little bit different shaped, and a little bit curvier around the captain. But anyway,
mostly
not that I noticed such things. Yeah.
in this day and age, yeah.
Olivia Julius, $2. Can we talk about the KISS members reject? Yeah. I thought it was somebody pointed out in my first reaction review that it was like looks like Jayla from Beyond, but it could be many things.
Yeah, there's someone post on Twitter a combination of like 3 aliens, and it's kind of a bit of each of them. But yeah, he's fair enough. I think he's actually voiced by someone I actually recognise, but couldn't quite place it.
And Fleet Paw puts in $5. 106 likes and counting. Keep hitting like and making me pay. Got to keep the Jeffries 2 pug monster happy. Yes. It almost took my arm off the other day.
Oh God.
Whatever it takes, guys.
Yes. So then Boimler walks on, and it's not going great for him. I'll be honest.
No. But it's kind of a big deal, though. What's happened to him. So.
And he gets sent off to the principal's office, basically, and he's just like, "You got a med bay." It's like, "Oh,
that's for sick people." Now.
And they get a beautiful hard cut to him being poked, which again, it's you'd think he's out of phase, so getting poked and prodded every time is like, "Oh, is he? Oh, yeah, he's out of phase." It is.
Yeah. Then the doctor says, "You look like a goddamn science project."
He is a goddamn science project.
But Rutherford comes running in saying he figured it out, and it turns the noise off at least. And Boimler thinks he's cured, and he's walking away, and he's like, wait a minute, I'm still phased. What's going on? Well, I mean, I got it mostly sorted out. I got the sound gone, and that was the worst part of it, which was great because it was the worst part, honestly. But yeah, I mean, it was nice. It was nice. And then we get the doctor basically talking about the division that she already alerted Division 14, which is the one that takes care of these kind of issues. As
not the time cops, though. Not time.
Many times it's yes, the time travel police. No, they handle unsolvable space illnesses and science mysteries. So,
and it does say something though that I mean we've really not really had any time with this character, let alone assess if she's a good medic or not. But the fact that she instantly says, hand it off. Crusher always tries to fix it. The EMH has no choice but to try and fix it. Brian's smarter than most people on Earth. But she's like, yeah, I can't do this. Off. I'm guessing because it's like, it's that difficult, but it does come across a bit like I just
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even gonna try. Not in a mean way, just like
Yeah.
this is not my field. Just go straight to the principal's office again. Um,
Well, yeah, the farm will be tended to, and you'll be fine.
and I
You
appreciate
you and you and Mister whatever the hell that thing is over there to the dog.
in second watch where you know the payoff is that it's a nice place. I appreciate she isn't. She doesn't say evil. She says it much more like a where your dog goes to die, but in a gentle way. The other one says it much more dramatically, like, "Oh, you're in the slaughterhouse now, bitch." But in rewatching it, it's so subtle that it's only because you think it's negative, because that's what you assume that it. But it actually she said just fine. So I appreciate like they know what they're trying to say, but you add the extra
Mm-hmm.
bit of thought to it.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, this was a real missed opportunity with her interacting with the dog. 'Cause she's a cat. Would have been
Mm-hmm.
funny for a hiss or something, but no, she's just like whatever the hell that thing is. So they're sending the dog there too.
Mm-hmm.
And Tendy's like not so happy about that. She's like,
Mm-hmm.
I won't let them hurt you. It's fine. And she named it the dog.
Yeah.
So, that's clever, I guess. I love how Rutherford though says, I think you know more about DNA than you do about dogs. So,
Well, then the dog's on Orion, which I liked her saying because I said there wouldn't be. And then we get the horrifying moment, but it comes and goes pretty quick. And then we get a lovely exterior view, which was nice to see. You're out a window there. And I really love the idea that when she pulls stuff off the platforms, she can throw them back on. They like tractor back in. I thought that was quite a nice touch.
well, that is nice because I always wondered when the ship rocks
Yep.
and stuff, why everything's not knocked over.
Yep.
Ah,
No, it's great. And she says, the captain's trinkets, which is great. And this scene I want to talk about. I know you want to talk about it too. So talk to me about the scene, Stuart.
well, earlier she said, and looked damn good doing it when she was talking about being kick-ass on a planet. And here she's doing a captain's log talking about the repair, and Mariner's goofing off, and she's kind of chuckling, and it's kind of suggestive that she's interested in Mariner at least, or there was a relationship between the two of them or something, um, because of just her reaction to it, the giggling, the kind of side glance, the brushing of the hair, stuff like that. It's I have the feeling that they had a relationship, or she wants one with Mariner. Probably had would be my guess. But your thoughts?
Yeah, I thought I picked up on that. Thought I picked up some of that on the first viewing, but more in like a friends can flirt sort of way. But in the second viewing, I got none of that. Again, knowing where it went, I got none of that at all. I was absolutely like their BFF girlfriend. Like even like the hug, it's like just it's a normal girl hug. Like I can hug my friend like that. So I didn't get any of that second time around. Just we're having fun because it's like I said, sorority girls. There's a certain level of relaxation that doesn't come from being anyone else, and they're clearly like like a trio of best friends that were really close for all of the academy. So yeah, I don't. I'm going to remove my I agree with that from earlier. Purely platonic. But the thing is,
I disagree. I've watched it a few times and I still get that vibe. So
because I mean, you can say I wouldn't even consider you look and look good doing it. Like I would say that to my friend as well. Like if they're doing something great, it's like, and you look good, man. I mean,
oh yeah, absolutely. It can be looked at both ways for sure.
well,
I
I
just
mean,
get the feeling that there's
and
more there.
speaking of going both ways, glad you brought that up. I mean, the scene starts with her talking about Ransom's penis. So obviously they're
It's
bisexual at the very
photon
least.
torpedo.
Yeah, penis torpedo. So obviously they're either bisexual or not, and obviously which we know Mariner is. But they start off with a man reference. Now, as Red Letter Media says, that might be just the case they're not gays. Like, we'll set up that they're obviously straight to show
Yeah.
they're not gay. But you don't start a scene with your ex-girlfriend saying, have you slept with a guy? And it's not at all... It's a pure, like, funny scene. So I think... Yeah, I absolutely think it's just friends. What do you guys think? Because first time I agree with Stuart, maybe. Second time, not so much.
Hmm. But she offers her the
Yeah.
she wants her insight into the Cerritos cruise. So
Makes
she's
sense.
like, "Would you like to? I don't know, be my first officer?"
Mm-hmm.
And she gets so excited. She's like, "Oh yeah. Be good to see a good team on the bridge for a change. Not that the other one's bad, but
Which is nice. She
Um,
didn't badmouth them because she was... she could have.
yeah, yeah. So she agrees to do it, and then there's the hug and the realization that, oh shit,
I have to do stuff now.
she's trying to get me to be part of her crew or something. Yeah, it's great. It's a great scene.
Because we know from later that she remembers her friend being carefree and fun. In this scene, she is carefree and fun because she's happy to be there, and that's why she says yes. But as soon as things start turning where responsibility, she just thinks, oh yeah, I'll get to goof around my captain friend. No. And speaking of, I forgot to bring up. Thanks for reminding me. When she walks on the bridge and she's talking to him, she's like, "Oh my god, you're promoted on a ship." So she wasn't given a ship. I'm assuming she was second in command of a ship and was promoted. But super recently, so it didn't even like get to her, because you would think, you'd tell people or put on Facebook, but so she, I think she's been a brand new captain, and she was probably a commander for a long old time, or promoted 2 ranks to captain. But isn't it weird though that you would bring an ensign to be a second in command
Yeah,
and not even give her rank
thought that was,
pips?
yeah, I thought that was super weird, considering you brought over some lieutenants and stuff that are actually your team. But still.
I mean, we'll get there in a little bit, but it is strange.
Joshua Stearns, $5.
Thank you.
Don't worry, Captain. I'm sure there's pics of them together on the internet somewhere. Well, not yet. There probably will be at some point, but yes. Yeah. Anyway. No, I really like the new captain though. Something about her is just kind of super sexy, and
that's probably also why. Because if you didn't think she was attractive, you probably wouldn't sense the chemistry there.
No, I would sense it more probably because. Anyway, that's neither here nor there.
Okay.
Because if I'm not attracted to her, why would I want her attracted to somebody else? Anyway.
Because you're biased towards thinking one thing, therefore you saw one thing. If you didn't care, you wouldn't see it.
Oh, but even Sylvia, the first time we watched it, like that scene was like, is she going to tell Mariner how she feels about her for real? And I'm like, no, she doesn't. So she kind of got that vibe too. But
yeah, we get a ship. Now, in the comments, guys, please let us know. Did you think this spinning purple vortex was the faster than light custom drive, or just they met up with it at a nebula? Pick A or B, FTL or just nebula. Because yes, we introduced the NX7300, the ULSA.
75300. You missed the 5. And it's the Ostler. Which is named after yeah, named after a Canadian doctor or something. I forget what it was. Anyway, who cares? B says Fleet Paw, FTL Nebula, B wormhole. Met up with it. A. There you go. I think it's just a nebula, yep. And the lightning and stuff is to invoke that haunted house, thunderstorm kind of vibe.
Yeah, 100%. But first time you obviously meant to think it is, but no, it's absolutely just a nebula. But yeah, it's a weird ship. Tune in for our review of the ship a little bit later. Weird. At least it wasn't huge. It didn't go J.J. Abrams and be massive. I guess we now know there's definitely a docking port on the saucer on the edge, because we know they dock. I guess. Sure.
Again, I never got that fucking feeling either. Jesus.
Oh. What?
That they docked.
But you can see they docked.
But can you? Because
yeah.
I thought it was just a lot lower.
Nah.
I thought it was a perspective thing.
Where it lines up. Because we see them in an airlock, so we know they dock. That's their ship.
Yeah, but why isn't the other airlock door open to see the Cerritos then? Because they're connected. So I don't know. I never got that feeling. I just thought they beamed into the airlock.
You thought they beamed into the airlock?
Yeah.
What does that even mean? Why would you beam into the airlock and not into the ship?
I don't know.
Well, there you go. I mean, we've seen this airlock and we know it links.
Medical quarantine ship. I don't know.
Yeah,
anyway, I didn't think they docked, so that's what I'm saying. Okay. I don't know why it's an argument. I just never got that sense.
But now you know. And knowing is half the battle.
Let's see. Prime 1351.
Hi, man.
$2. 100% got the vibe that they were a thing at one point.
Yeah, it's pretty evenly split, so.
Yeah. And Luke Celeste.
Hi, Luke.
$5. This is where I got Halloween vibes. Yes. Lewis Cox, £5. Hey there, you guys are awesome. Thank you very much, Lewis. You are awesome as well.
Yeah, you are awesome. You're more awesome even.
And Eugene throws in 150 rubles. Still more Starfleet design than most anything in Picard.
Well, hey, Stuart. At least it's not a Discovery shuttle. Guys, we get a...
Yeah.
Not it would be, but, you know. Dead and
Matthew
buried.
DeFrida says Cindy had no reason to go. Well, she was worried about her dog.
I've heard that, but I don't understand why, because she's the creator. If you want to understand how this thing was made, you bring the creator.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Rutherford is different because he gave a pad. It's easy. Like, her thing is really complicated. It involves 5 billion things. Obviously, you'd bring her, you know? Don't know why I wouldn't.
Yeah. Fleet Paw puts in $2. Beam into the airlock gets a second chamber. Huh?
Could you beam the currently beaming Boimler?
That's the question. I don't know. That would make sense why they would use an airlock, though.
It would. That'd be and also to the dog. I can imagine the dog is unbeamable as well because it can do literally everything. They even say that it can fire lightning. But Stuart, you were absolutely right, and at the very last minute, you managed to see that this is a in uniform, Alien Family series. Well done, and for some reason wearing a mask. For some reason, I don't know why.
I didn't hear any of that because it cut out, but that's okay.
I'm saying well done. You got the animated series creature. Well done, you, and wearing a mask for some reason.
Endosian, yes. Well, maybe because one of these things could be contagious. He doesn't know because he's just meeting them for the first time, and he's, I don't know. But then not that a mask would really do.
Yeah, you'd think you wear a spacesuit then. I know someone pointed out, could this be the reference to the virus, coronavirus?
Probably not, but...
Yeah, it would be weird. But he seems okay. He's a very hard balance with this character because you're meant to... Again, second viewing it's all different. First viewing, oh no. Second viewing, you're like, oh yeah, it's that guy. It's fine. It's just a scientist guy. It's fine. So I like it's that in that way it's a very different second watch. But he's alright, And tell us who he's voiced by because that threw me for like, oh okay.
Oh, he's voiced by the same guy that does Shrax, the security chief in the show. So,
which is awesome. And you can hear it when you know it's him. You can.
Yeah. But I like his uniform with the little kind of cape or frock or whatever it is that he's got up there because of the third arm, which is great because Lieutenant Arex also had one. A unique uniform. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, his whole introduction with the whole, I must warn you, stepping aboard this vessel is consent to be surrounded by dark abnormalities and the clinically obscene. It's just a little over dramatic, as everything he does is. So, the farm cures all, which is good.
Yeah, it's good. It's just, enough to get the hint, but not enough to actually be villainous. And you can tell if he's the guy that either chose this assignment or asked for this assignment to be the farrier of people that are going to be quite sad and unhappy. Like, that takes toll on you. You're going to be a certain sort of person, and he may or may not be a scientist. You never get any indication of what he is. Like, he's got no visible rank. He's not called a doctor. He's not necessarily a captain. He's just the guy that ferries people. Probably. So it's very, very ambiguous. And so the tone is good because it's ambiguous tone.
Then we get the whole 4 Borg thing, and this is great. Nobody ever talks about this, but they smell like old trash bags. And the first thought that went through my mind was it's probably a behind-the-scenes reference, like to what the actual Borg costumes smell like. Because you never think about it when you watch the show, but everything would have a scent on the set. And considering all the plastic tubing and things that they use for that, I get the feeling that, it would smell kind of like a trash bag. So we need to ask Doug or Rick, somebody that worked on the production, what the Borg smelled like, because that'd be interesting to find out.
Hey, Michael Westmore, he did the makeup for all Borg. I'm sure I got you too used to it.
We could ask him too, yeah, absolutely.
But then we get, I guess, a custom kit room? I don't know. It's just kind of a room. It's not an airlock, and they beam down, so it's a weird antechamber, maybe. And you do see the bag for the tricorders, which is Mariner's one job. It is set up here that she does fail. What do you think of their specific dungaree uniforms?
Hip waders is what they're called. And I thought it was really weird. Not a fan. I don't think Starfleet would have those. But
it's like I get it, I get it, but why? Yeah.
It's a bog planet. But yeah, I totally agree. No, not a
But
thing.
the Borg
Why don't you just wear the space suits
yeah,
without the helmets?
yeah. I mean, easy to clean, I'm sure. But I like the Borg anecdote just because it, as we said before, it ramps up the Borg's power. You side 4?
Hmm.
As if 4 is more like, oh my god, which is great. I mean, one can take over a ship. The ship's not ready for it, so I like that. It's a simple, effective thing. Although the Vulcan jiu-jitsu thing, I was like, yeah, sure. I wish it said
Is that?
something smarter, than just fighting them with hand fist stuff.
I wonder if it's the same Vulcan martial art they mentioned in Discovery. Prime 1351,
Thank you.
$5. Random question. Speaking of ships from Picard, will you be looking at the new high detail inquiry class model from STO someone posted on Facebook? Maybe at some point. We do have a lot of STO stuff to cover. But
I was not involved per se, but I talked to the person that built that and suggested things they should add. And they knew what they should add, but I was very keen to say, if you're building it, ignore the one from the show. Build it properly. And I gave them a list of things it was missing. So, very happy to see it was actually a proper ship as opposed to whatever they made of the show. Not they could fix the bottom, but, Stuart, looks better with phaser strips, and RCS thrusters, and blinkies, and registry, and escape pods, and tractor emitters. The list goes on.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
Brian Straight, $5.
Thank you.
Nice reference to Arex from the animated
Mm-hmm.
series with the farm alien commander. Yes, the Endosian.
And he doesn't make a big deal of it, which is great. It's just a dude in Starfleet. And then you get telling some stories. One of the story was epic, and then she tells a story, an embarrassing story, because there's a different sort of story between saving the galaxy against Borg versus property damage and disrespect to an officer. And that's Mariner's deal. Like the Scorpion thing, the way the tall guy's like they're like,
Yeah.
oh my god, what is wrong with this person? Because yeah, those things are not okay. They're not okay. She's not a good girl. She's not a good officer. And yeah, she's embarrassed her captain. It's like, you just destroyed property? And I like that guy. I don't know if the guy's meant to be a character we know. They'd say it as if that's a guy we know. My mentor, But it's just like, yeah, Mariner, you're a screw up. You shouldn't be doing this stuff, even if it was at the academy.
Mm-hmm.
You are wrong. You're the wrong sort of officer.
Yep. Which I kind of appreciated, because this is like the whole time I'm watching this the first time thinking, oh, well, she's not a Mary Sue. Either she's, kind of kerfluffled because her friend's here and she's trying to be better, look like she's doing everything perfectly and it's just screwing up, or like she's trying too hard, but then we find out it's actually deliberate. So
But I'll argue tooth and nail half of it's deliberate, because the way she also acts everything, it's like most of it's not deliberate the way she acts it. And you can say she's acting, but if they're trying to present to us everything she's doing is on purpose, and yet she's acting it sincerely that she's really effing up, then how can we as the audience tell if she's effing up or not? If everything's sincere, then nothing's sincere. Like, look, this face as they're walking away, like, what's she doing? She's saying, oh, I'm going to act sad in case they turn around? Well, no, she feels bad about this. She's letting her team down because she's making mistakes. As in, she told the story, and, she's there are things that she feels and shows, like, well, yeah, I do care, and I have done bad things.
yeah, well, that look was right after the burn from the Vulcan saying, do you always deliberately screw up missions?
That was just...
Yep.
Not deliberately screws up missions, just screw up missions, surely.
Well, what did she say here? Let me see exactly what she said. I have to go back a bit because I'm already in a bog. But do you often disrupt missions?
Yeah. Yes, she does. Yes, she does.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, they beam down. You have some nice professional stuff. And this is one of those things where I can't believe that her walking away like this is her deliberately walking the wrong direction to be a screw up. She just doesn't know what she's doing. Like, this is one of those cases of she just got it wrong. She just went the wrong direction without thinking, and they're like calling her out on it. Like, she shouldn't deliberately go the wrong way to look stupid. The way it's played, she's like, "Oops, yep, sorry, I thought this was north. It's not. Sorry,"
Mm-hmm.
So they're half and half. I think it's one of those actual mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
And we get turtle people, or not turtle. Well, I guess salamanders a bit again.
Salamander people, yeah.
And just like previously with the first episode, they're a bit too alien for Trek, but they're a gentle little one-off. Look, they exist. Go, move on. That's great. It's nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yes, pretty diverse. Cool beans.
Yep. And then she's asking Durga about how she knows the captain, and you really think that's important to this mission? Well, damn, I was just making chit chat. But
Yeah.
then they get, yeah, again, if it almost feels like either jealousy because you're hanging out with my best friend now, or there seems like a three-way thing between the three of them. I'm not sure exactly what's going on, but
I mean, we know
you know,
Vulcans are a bit snide anyway. Um,
yes,
but
absolutely.
I very much see it as Captain. You brought me here as your second in command. Why are you giving it to an ensign that is clearly a terrible officer because she's an ensign, and you're the same age? Why would you do this to me? And it's clearly she feels slighted because she was, why promote this nobody, who she's now met, this great mariner, been told stories about, who she feels like, oh my god, I can never live up to her. So I think it's more just a professional, like, great, her, you picked her, thanks, you know. Vulcans hide it with passive aggression. But I do appreciate,
Hmm.
even though this scene isn't great, I do appreciate the proceduralness of it. Um, and they're trying to help. It's a good positive mission. They're here to repair some water stuff. Cool. And they do. But not with
Hmm.
Mariner's help.
Nah,
Because I'm
there's a
wondering.
jam, and they clear it.
Because I'm wondering if this is again she forgot because the bag, because if you're trying to mess up on purpose, that bag might not mean anything. So you know what I mean? Like you're forgetting tricorders, but is that? Like, I just think I just think she's so unfocused anymore that she makes stupid, silly mistakes. That isn't deliberate either. Because why would you just leave them? Like, you might not need them, and then you wouldn't have caused a problem.
Yeah, seems like a weird thing to leave behind, considering you're probably going to need it for your mission, unless she did it deliberately. I don't know. I really don't know.
Because remember, the scene is plays with her looking sad, like, oh, I don't always mess up. Walks past camera, like she just forgets. She's left thinking, oh, I suck, and she moves forward. The pressure,
Hmm.
to perform leads her to make mistakes, which I think is more the case. Oh,
Yeah.
guys, 8 more
Uh,
likes to 130. 8 more
ooh, do
likes.
it. Squad Dracors, $2. Do toon characters have more depth than live action? Uh, no, they're two-dimensional. They're not three-dimensional.
Wow. And Jamal Tear says Mariner's very good at faking incompetence. Remember the bit with the Ferengi? I do, and she poorly acted that. She was like, "Oh no, what is that Ferengi?" So she clearly can't
It's a
act.
Boolean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no, she's not a good actress. I like to just think to make silly mistakes. And isn't this actually a TNG prop or like a TOS prop? The thing that she's just boom. Just like such a TOS prop.
Mm, not that I recognize.
Uh,
Hmm.
and they're all like, "What are you doing, babe? What are you doing? You done messed up."
We get the back on the ship. I just want to check in on my ship, for my covert operation. And you see, well, what's his name? Ransom in the background, pumping some iron,
Mm-hmm.
and Trax is just sitting there like yawning. Um, Crew's doing well. We took care of that water thing, and now we're going to meet this other ship. And then as soon as this view screen goes off, she's like, "Seriously? They're waiting to plant something?"
Yeah.
It's just hilarious.
It's so dumb. I like what you said earlier. I didn't say it last time, but yeah, the Bajoran guy is so bored.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Because they carefully picked for this covert mission to plant seeds. But I like how proud the captain is. You know, that's what
Hmm.
Starfleet officers do. They try and take pride in what they do, and she likes being tasked with a special mission, even if it's the most, it's good. It's a silly good thing. I like it.
Hmm.
And I love how at home she is the new captain. She has a certain confidence. It's like, yeah, yeah,
And Fleet Pod Swiftback, $2. Shax wants a warp core to blow up. Yes.
yeah. There's only so many warp cores on a planet.
But here Mariner screws up. She's not paying attention about
Mm-hmm.
the scan, and then hits the red alert thing by mistake. And it's interesting because the arm of the chair, even though it doesn't look like there are buttons, there are
Yes.
buttons in there, which is neat. It's a nice little technical feature that
Mm-hmm.
we get out of it. So,
Yeah,
um,
and I see this as again two pronged. She's genuinely not listening, and so does miss the order. But clearly, she knows how to turn this button on and off. You know, if it's the same button press, then why does she not know how to turn it off?
And the list of Jericho, does this confirm the view screen as a window? We will get to that. There might even be a whole video on that.
Da, 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 da. We thought better of you, Mike McMahon.
Ugh. Yeah, anyway.
Great shot of the bridge, though.
Through the window.
And yeah,
Camera's out.
And Vulcan's like, she's not very good, is she? Definitely not what you said at the academy. It's like, yeah, she's just lost this edge. Anything she had, you know, if that was 20 years ago, and she's been actively trying to fail for the last 10. I mean, you know what? Yeah, being a genius only goes so far. And I'll absolutely argue that even at the end when she's trying to work hard, she doesn't do anything particularly impressive. And it's just stuff she's already done before in this season. So she's definitely, you know, she could not be captain if she wanted to be. She'd have to re-get the skills to be captain, which is good. That's how it should be, you know. I'm absolutely fine with that.
Mm-hmm. Then we get the entering the quarantine area of the ship, the Oslo, and we see all the freaks in there. Freaks. One with a duck bill. What the hell?
I wonder if that's meant to be a How to Duck the reference. How the duck.
Yeah, I don't know. But the interesting thing is the half old man, half kid is wearing a uniform.
First contact uniform is
First contact uniform. Different than all the other ones. All the other ones are obviously the same as the Cerritos. So, but it's worth pointing that out, that he actually says he's been there for months and he thought that was the farm. So what's up with the uniform? Yes. Could it be that just after the uniform changeover, or he's from a different sector that has who knows?
Yeah, exactly. And this obviously great to see. It's such a small detail. It gives you massive flashbacks to the episode DS9 when you find Bashir, and the way you say without any sort of dialogue that was stolen ages ago. Old uniform, boom, says so much. And so this guy, tells you it's been a while, but we know they wore these uniforms last year. So yeah, it's a great way. And I said to you, I wish they had like a Void uniform or a TNG or even TOS, because freaks can live forever. But they didn't need to. But it was good they did. I would have preferred more in uniform. That would have been nicer, I think. They could have had like three out of 6 of them in uniform. The old one. But it was great to see. And it wasn't a flashback. Wasn't anything. It was in the present, in the canon. Boom. Great. Good stuff. Well done.
And the Trembler, $5. Would be fun is if the planning mission was on the world where Sergei Rozhenko led the pre-warp species. Could be a needed plant from original homeworld. Ooh, yeah, maybe.
Well, they say it's a disputed world, so it's obviously a specialist thing. Yeah, absolutely. Now, what did you think of this guy, this half and half thing?
I love the voice acting because it faded from like kid, sounded like Marty McFly, to the old guy, flawlessly, just seamlessly going through, which was fantastic. Also later he's got one short leg, but he's got like a stilt on it. So no, that was well done, but I couldn't imagine living like that. Good God.
Yeah, I wish it must have been really hard to act that. They do go overboard with it being old man rather than kid. I would have liked a bit more of a both. You know, they kind of stop. But it's hard. It's probably the same voice actor to do both voices. But it would have been nice to give him a bit more personality in the sense of what ship was he from? You know, but this episode is packed, so nothing gets much depth.
Yeah.
But the thing
is, we know he got infected by an alien horse bite.
He did. It happens. You know. But we got the uniform, and that obviously tells us he's special because that makes him special in the room. But really, he's just a nobody. You know, same as everyone else, in the grand scheme of what we should know about him. But yeah, he creates this thing, and to note, they're not prisoners. They walk in. There's no guards. The vibe. If the ship wasn't dark with bright red lights, you wouldn't think of it in the same way. So it's all about why are they in a smoky room. It's all about the vibe, all about the context. No one is telling you, bad things. And if the farm is 6 months away at high warp and you're stopping to pick up people along the way, yeah, you know what? Time takes time to do things. But Stuart, time has not passed well, because even after 200 years, the pike chair is still the best that people can do for gamma ray bursts. What do you think?
I think the chair might be more advanced. It has a few less buttons than Pike's does. I think Pike had 2 other like red buttons or something on there. I could be wrong, but
so it's more efficient.
Yes, it's the future. You see.
And what did you think of actually seeing? I mean, it is verbatim. I mean, it's not even the Discovery version, which you would think there would be a discussion in the house. Should we make the Discovery version or the canon version? Given that both are now fully canon. But they went TOS, which again doubles down TOS being the primary canon, which it always should be.
No, I think it's something that people automatically recognize.
Yeah.
And goddamn, I'm really getting sick of this signal cutting out on me. But no, the chair was a nice visual one. It is different than the TOS one. The TOS one has 4 silver dials. 2 beside one on each side of the light, and then 2 lower ones. So it is a more advanced chair. I'm going to point that out right now. But for the same thing, exposed to delta radiation.
I do wish it was a different chair, more different. I think it's kind of silly to have the exact same thing, or at least have like a full touchscreen. I get the gag. The gag would be enough if it was a chair of similar and with a full arrangement of things. It's too on the nose for me personally. Even if you give it like hot rod, something, unless it's like a distinct healing chair, etc. I mean, it's just a gag, and I like the gag later on. But yeah, and then we get introduced to the other people and the salamander, which is great, and it is gross, and it.
Anthony.
It was probably human. Oh, and the dog looks sad. It's like, oh, dude, you okay?
The Trembler throws in $10. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
There's something called The Farm in a comic book series called Fabes. Or Fables? I don't know. About fairy tale characters exiled in New York City. Their farm where they send what can't be passed as human, and it's horrific. Possible reference? Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, and Medallion says, holding cell reminds me of the Gem Hadar prison. Yes, absolutely. Again, pulling from that episode. Yeah. Oh, and they're all about, so where are we going, this farm? You don't think there's a farm, do you, boy? / Dad? You're gonna
we've been here for... Yeah, we've been here for months. This is the farm. And you hear thunder rumbling. It's like, what the hell?
And it is a good moment. It is creepy, although again, there's no evidence. So again, once you've seen it once, you kind of, see through it a bit. But yeah, it's pretty, oh no. Oh no! Not a good ship design.
Olivia Julius, $5.
Hey.
Hit like. There are now reports of a dot being made to combat the pug.
Oh.
Yes, that's true. More likes to keep the pugs safe. We have 139 likes with 167 people here. But let's get to 150 likes, guys. We can do it. Hit like.
And Ryan K, I swear that creature is a Voyager reference. Yes, we've kept saying that. Kept saying it's the Warp 10 salamander. Yeah. Yes. It's a very good one.
It's what Janeway and Paris turned into and had babies.
And someone said it might be one of their babies. I mean, who's to say they couldn't... I mean, come on. If tardigrade can visit anywhere in the galaxy, why can't a Warp 10 salamander hyperspace around the galaxy?
At Warp 10.
At Warp 10.
It can be everywhere all at once.
But what isn't everywhere all at once is another California with a red stripe. Not looking so hot, no power.
The Rubidoux. Yeah.
And I like her sense of like, oh my god, they just didn't get a new power staff. Again, guys, I saved you last month. Kind of gives a bit of a superiority complex a little bit, but you can tell she thinks she's the shit. She just got promoted. She is go-getter. But it's all good. I mean, given how incompetent the captain seems to be later on, a bad captain, that's fair enough. But I mean, anyone in a California class is not a high-up captain. We don't know what this woman's ship is, so we can't say. But these people are low end. in the spectrum.
Her ship's the Oakland. Whether she's the captain of it or not, who knows? But the Oakland, and I think Oakland is also a place in California.
No.
So it could be another California class. Who knows?
It's a bit of a
But
coincidence, though, if every ship we see in this universe is a California class, given that.
that annoys me.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Not every ship, obviously. We've seen the other one, but they should not all be California. There isn't that many of them, unless they are literally just basic, no one cares ships, and then these captains do have a very limited rank, and it doubles down on that. But yeah, away team, let's go, team go.
And power's been disconnected in engineering, so
and we get.
She's gonna. Oh, sorry, Jurga says she's gonna get the main systems back online. Should be no problem for her. It's a simple repair. So.
And this is good because this is the scene we've always sort of quote unquote wanted to see, but the realness of reality doesn't help. They're floating. Unlike in Temporal Anomaly, the artificial gravity is not online. So this is what it would look like, and that's refreshing. You know,
yes.
you don't think about it, but now I've said it. How many of you are like, "Well done, guys"? Because it doesn't take much thought, but yeah, like even in Tomorrow Darkly, like they're standing just fine. So yeah.
I didn't even think about it till you mentioned it just now. It's great because we always make the funny joke that the artificial gravity is always working, regardless.
But you also do see the Cerritos out of the bridge window, which if it was a view screen, there's no power. There'd be no power. But it's obviously a view screen window. A view window, otherwise you would not see through it. So this is one of the many confirmations that yes, the Californian classes have a fucking stupid window rather than a wonderfully advanced view screen.
Mm-hmm. Kenju22, $5.
Thank you.
Would take less time to reach the farm if they didn't have to keep turning around to pick up another accident. Yes.
Yep.
And we're not sure how fast the ship goes, so it could literally take months. Plus, you got the alpha and beta quadrants. Maybe just as a standard sweep every 3 months, just picking up people at star bases and whatever 100%. As needed. So,
well, again, they weren't doing any science on it. There was no moment with There was no moment of the mad scientist lab, so he's just a ferryman. That's it.
Yeah, and probably the only person on the ship too, which is weird. They should have doctors.
No, we do see the security guard. There is a security guard guy.
Oh, is there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. When they after they riot, there's 2 guys behind him. But yeah, a very small crew. Absolutely, it's a very weird ship, but it's meant to be. And it goes 181 people, which is brilliant. Hope you guys enjoy this episode. 146 likes. We did 170, and we're at an okay amount of money, but another $50 will be great. We've got another half an hour, just more than half an hour, over half the episode. $50 would be great, and we've got someone helping us to get there. Yeah.
Well, the Trembler throws in $5. Another possible reference on the Mad Ship. One of Doug Jones. First Rolls had him wearing a Crescent Moon mask for McDonald's ad. Yeah, he played Mac Tonight, which was plays the piano and had a gray crescent moon shaped head, and he was for the late night McDonald's kind of thing. So Mac Tonight was played by Doug Jones. I forgot all about that, but you're absolutely right. That looks like the crescent moon guy. So that's good. I like that.
Then you get this awkward scene, which again I'm a bit confused by. She does her boots wrong, and then gets told off because she doesn't get told off because she makes a mistake. She gets told off because she's fumbling and saying she's making excuses when she should just own it. This I see more as a deliberate mistake. She's just, oh no, look, I'm embarrassed, but she still plays it so genuinely, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But this is harder to get wrong because she's like, it's buttons. You press them or don't, you know.
Yeah. I wanted a taller boot. Stop with the boots already. Yeah. Grid Cube puts in 100 ARS. I'm not sure what that is. Let me check. We'll find out in a second.
Argentine peso. That's $2. Thank you.
Perfect.
Cool.
The ship had to go slow because it had to carry the guy that turned themselves into a small nebula. Hey, there you go.
I think that's the guy with the stuff. Maybe. I mean, I'm absolutely fine to say these people can't go fast because of space reasons. That would actually be kind of great if at the end, actually, so imagine this: they've landed, and the guy's like, where he says at the end, I should probably put the lights on too, and the guy's like, but why did we take 9 months? Oh, it's Dean. We can't go to more than warp 4, and he's like, sorry guys, I'm sorry. It's like, oh, Dean, that's why. Oh, funny, Yeah.
And Ensign Ricky puts in $2.
Hmm.
Division 14 represent.
Yeah. And
But
then,
then we get.
great
Oh,
example, they're not locked in.
yeah.
It feels like they are. They have a wonderful tone here, but no, they can absolutely walk out. And they all have quarters, we hear that later on, which they're limited to. So they're choosing to all hang out because nothing better to do. But it feels like a prison, but it absolutely isn't. So I love the context where you know it, but where it's presented. Do a good job there.
And here's where we get the whole mutiny thing, because there's a shift change at 0200 hours.
Yeah.
And tonight, the freaks take it back. And Boimler.
Freaks, fight back! Freaks,
And
fight
I
back!
love how it fades from. Yeah, I love how it fades from the chanting to freaks fight back is what we were all chanting. We were all doing it
It's a great
in
hard cut.
unison.
It's a really, really good hard cut. I didn't see it coming, I'll be honest. I don't know if you did.
Yeah, I did not.
Yeah, it was nice.
Squadra Course, $2.
Thank you.
Have some more money. Love the show and the community. Thank you very much, Squadra Course.
Yeah, we think so too.
And Brian Straight,
Thank you.
$5. Almost two of everything. Yeah, we have two of everything. Well, not everything, but yeah.
It's a weird line. I get it. It's a weird line.
Yeah.
And this I thought was weird.
So that-
Why is his office a Tron office?
Because why not? Looks cool. Well, we talk about that in our video talking about the ship, but the internals. But watch that, guys, because we don't want to get back into it. It looks very Klingon, but anyway. His office is very weird as well. He's got a big desk, and then right behind him are phaser rifles and handheld phasers in the walls. So it seems like an odd situation for sure. And he's very upset about the mutiny. He breaks his desks. And he calls them freaks. If those freaks think they can mutiny, they're in for a rude awakening. And Boimler's saying, no, I don't want anybody to get hurt. We're all Starfleet. We all have to follow the rules. I am the rules. Anyway, so he storms out of his office, and you see Tindy and the dog in the background. The dog's ripping up a floor grate. Not that it matters, but anyway. So yeah, that's it for that scene. Then we're back on the Rubidoux. And we got a floating banana. Don't know if you noticed that. They have a thing with bananas.
And it was frozen, which I liked because it made sense. There's no environmental systems. But yeah, again, rewatching this scene in the office, it's like he's just a bit prone to anger. Nothing he said is explicitly wrong. He is true. He is right. They're under his leadership. They've all been assigned here to go to the thing. They're mutinying for what he senses is no reason. You know what I mean? It's like Monroe and Temporal Anomaly. Like, they have a duty to respect my authority. They're mutinying. Haven't even given me a reason. And I'm just annoyed at them because especially if he's trying to help. But it's this very, very thin level of, okay, busy, bad or not. And yeah, certainly. I mean, this shot of the corridor where he's ripping up the wall flat. I mean, if that's not a Klingon set, you know what I mean? Like, it is absolutely a Klingon. So, which is not. We talk about, as you say, there's maybe reasons for that. Yes, the frozen banana.
Yeah, the whole conversation here of I expected to be working with the badass. I went to, and it's a role reversal because, well, they actually mention it later, but
it's a long scene. She says talk about stuff.
Yeah, well, this one they get cut off because they find the door that's closed. But she says, I expect to be working with the badass. I had my friend at the academy, and then Mariner says, yeah, well, I didn't expect you to be such a bitch, and she gets cut off on the word bitch. Fleet Paw Swiftback puts in $5, 152 likes. Can we hit 200? Feed the Jeffries tube pug monster.
I mean, now we've got to 154. I'm challenging our 166 people. I want to see 200 likes right now. I want everyone to click that like. It is free. You just click it. I want to see it jump, Stuart. 154. Click like on this video. You do it on a phone. You can do it on a computer, on a laptop, on an iPad. You can't do it on TV. Sorry about that. But you can go from the TV to your phone and click like.
You can do it on TV if you're watching it on certain things. You just hit the up arrow. You scroll over to the left to the dots. You hit that, and then you can subscribe. You can like. You can do all that stuff depending on what.
There's even less reason that you don't click like. So I want to see all the 200 likes. Challenged. Thank you.
Kenju 22, $5. Ship is probably very basic because some of the accidents might drip acid, explode, burns, etc. So it's due to hazards like a clean room in a lab. I'd be fine with that. Turn on the lights, though. Put a doctor or two in there, maybe a counselor. You think these people might need somebody to talk to besides other freaks. I don't know. It's just a very poor way to treat people that are in the Federation.
And that's a problem with it's a joke. It's set up for a joke. But I like that, actually, yeah. Why pack the ship if it's just a ferry, a run-down old ferry, that may... I mean, it's obviously got new nacelles, but apart from that, it might just be really basic. Yeah, no, I like that. It's good. But we do go into the cargo room, or it's the shuttle bay, actually, and I'm guessing most of the crew's dead then, because we only see a few people and only a few beam outs. This is the survivors. Okay. Big graphic. And they're very afraid, and you do get introduced to the captain. I didn't think it was the captain. I thought I saw a different rank set first time. But this makes me sad because she's awful. I know we only see the best, the Janeways, the Picards, the Kirks. But these guys have become crybabies that gave up. They're not doing anything to the solution. They're not doing anything. They're just hiding here, trying not to feed this thing. And she's absolutely a scared little girl, basically. It's very strange. So I thought it was a lieutenant the first time around, but they've given.
She might have suffered. She might have suffered from a nervous breakdown. I mean, sometimes some things just break people, you know. So
I buy
it's kind of the vibe that I got.
But that just shows how bad of a captain she is, and no one's trying to do anything. You know, we always see officers always trying to do something. They're not doing anything, so it makes them look really bad. And it might only be this happened like they're meant to meet them today, so they're only maybe 5 or 6 hours late. But it would have been great if they'd had other teams doing other stuff or something beyond just waiting and hiding. It's a terrible looking crew, and this captain is worse than Mariner's mum. And that says something, you know?
But yeah, she basically warns them, no, you don't understand. We're inside of it. It was eating all the power. We need to turn the power off.
Yeah.
And so she goes to warn the Vulcan lady. But then we get interrupted by the whole mutiny thing again.
And this is the scene I really wish we saw lots of other uniforms, because this wide shot would be great if there was alternates.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Basically comes in, mutiny makes you traitors. Mutiny? No, these are just props for our for our musical, yeah.
I liked that. That I thought was fun.
Stop lying. Boimler told me everything. Brad Boimler. No, right here. Brad Boimler.
Best officer. And again, first time you think it's negative, but if you watch it, the line is so fine, you know, because they are mutinying, you know, and who knows about special powers, you know. And here you can see 2 guys behind them with the same uniforms and rifles, so it is a small crew. Yeah. So what do you think of this little twist?
I like how it ended with, you guys think about what you did and think about how it'd be more like Brad, and then he walks them in there with them all. I thought it was funny. Yeah.
Not just that, he says everyone's sent to your quarters and yet he locks them in the same room.
Yes.
It's like, what? What? I don't know if he's punishing them as tattletales. I don't know.
Well, get the rat and then he gets jumped. Like, wow.
And boy, those 2 other guys, they're not even holding the rifle. They're holding the rifle. Look how... Come on, animators. Like, trigger safety is one thing, but holding the edges... Guys. They both got cutouts in their hair for some reason. That's a standard issue, maybe. But yes, then he gets attacked. He gets physically assaulted by all of them.
It's dogpiled, yeah.
And that I thought was unfair. Like, and the captain, that makes him again look bad. He's letting them attack him. Because they've got legitimate sharp weapons. He could be stabbed to death. That wasn't good. Didn't like that moment.
No. And Olivia Julius, $5. I wonder if the place they found the crew on the other ship is in the secondary pod by the nacelles behind engineering.
Maybe. Long way to go. I assume it's just the shuttle bay. You know, pretty normal.
Yeah, I would say probably not. I didn't hear what you said, so.
Well, thanks for agreeing. Appreciate that.
Oh, okay. Zango 76, $5.
Thank you.
If this ship is flying around for months at a time, why would they allow Tendi to be gone for that long with no ailment? because they knew that the next stop was going to be because they were close to the farm at this point.
That's
Because
right.
it doesn't take them long to get there after they pick up Boimler and Tendi. So
Days max. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
yeah,
100%. But he does say, "I wish I'd told them anything." He admits that he's a bad communicator, which
yeah,
would, that's fair enough. And also, I mean, Tendi is just an ensign. You know, like
yeah.
she's not important in the mission or in any of the missions. And if Brad can go, she can go. And again, she's there to look after her massively powerful creature. And I'm sure the doctor scanned the dog and was like, "Oh my god, this thing is a genetic nightmare. You go explain to them how to kill it. I mean, how to, whatever." Also, did you notice there was a child in these scenes?
Yes, I did notice that.
Yeah. I guess we knew there were children on board given the nursery gag, but we'll see a dog later on. So yes, the Cerritos does have children and pets. I know this isn't the Cerritos, but the implication is they can have them too. That was a bit weird. Not against it, but a bit weird.
Yeah. Well, this is cool though. The Durga, do not restore power, and I love how you get a close up of the combat. You see it pushing in.
Yeah, that was
Like it's. I like that because it's like it's the suit, so it's more not just touch sensitive. It's actually a push in. So
which
I like that.
you'd need. You want tactile feedback in a space environment. Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
That was very simple but real important. I thought. Good for them.
But then the warp core fires up and artificial gravity comes back on, which is kind of a bad idea considering they didn't know what was floating. Those guys could have been severely injured or have like cargo containers drop on them.
Oh, I'm sure someone died. And in fact, very subtle detail, but the lady with the kid, she actually lets the kid fall on her. Like, they're actually in a pose of safety. So literally, yeah. It's a weird moment. And yeah, that captain is gone. Totally gone.
Yeah.
And then things go shit. Things fall apart instantly. I guess this thing was hibernating and it was basically grown. Yeah. Oh no.
Just need that last little surge of power.
Yes.
But yeah, this ship starts tearing apart, and this is where Mariner kind of gets hallway now. Ramsey, and she kind of takes over a little bit, which is fine, I guess. You see a lot of things breaking on the ship, and then the captain's freaking, "I don't want to die in space. I don't want to die in space." It's like, you're a Starfleet captain. That's a possibility.
Yeah, it's a pathetic moment. At least it's not Boimler, but it's pathetic. I mean, I
love how Mariner punches her out too. Like, shut up. But
and you know what, Stuart? I don't think that's the first captain she's ever punched out. I'll be honest.
No, not with what she says later. He goes, "Where was this Boimler a few minutes ago, or this whole mission?" Something's going on here. Now you're back to punching out captains.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, talk about the scene, because this is kind of the big scene of the episode, really. The one that actually means something in the grand scheme.
Yeah, it does. But I mean, the ship's falling apart around them. And so this whole conversation happens during the course of this. But this is where they kind of have that role reversal, because they're like, "You were taking a dive, weren't you? You knew I was going to offer you a position on the Oakland, and you're deliberately acting like an idiot." And she points out that you were the best when we were in the academy together. We always thought you'd be the first to make captain. You had the best scores. You were the one that always keeping us on track. And then Mariner says, "Yeah, and you were the one that did whatever you wanted." So now the roles are reversed, because now Mariner is the one that does whatever she wants. The other Ramses, who's the captain now, is now more towing the Starfleet line. So the roles are reversed from when they first knew each other, which I thought was a great thing to do. But yeah, it's a good conversation about what's going on here, and the fact that now we know that she's been actually deliberately kind of sabotaging her efforts, if you will.
Oh, as I said, half sabotaging. But do you know what I mean about this scene where, because the scene shows the very, like, this is a real destruction of the ship. This is complete annihilation. Because they're not talking about it, you lose all the tension, or at least most of the tension. Like, it detensions it.
Yeah. I also like Mariner's whole thing here about I kind of hate that everyone's always screaming at me to rank up and take charge. Why can't I just be the best ensign I can be? A super great ensign, instead of, accepting more responsibilities and moving up the chain of command. I kind of like that.
I mean, the thing about this scene is that it's the best scene of the episode in terms of, like, it means something. It means the most. But we knew this was her entire storyline, so it is the same again, but it's the most explicit so far. Yeah, the idea that you were meant for great things, you were doing great things, and somewhere along the line, I wanted to actually be a captain, you just didn't. You want the opposite, you just want to be. And the fact that she's reacting means that somewhere down the line she was a good rank, and people yelling at her, people put pressure on her. She buckled under the pressure. She couldn't do it. She, mentally checked out from. I said no, I'm not going to do it. She still has physical acumen. I don't think this thing's particularly difficult on her. She's just telling someone to run through a corridor, obviously, and then run to the bridge. Less obviously, but whatever. It's a plan. And all she does is run. Like there's nothing she's doing here. Even when she saves the captain. It's a really simple, anyone could do it. Tuvok and Kim. It's not nothing here is top level Mariner, but she's good. It shouldn't be like superhero level, but it's just the sense that she's now not making silly mistakes. But it's good. Yeah. Why should I be a captain? People have told me to be a captain. I just don't want to be. What does it give me? You want to be a captain. She even says, the other one, I like being part of a team that relies on me. This makes me feel good. This is why I'm here. Man was like, I just don't want to do that. Nope, ain't for me. Yeah, it's interesting to hear it straight from her mouth, And then bit of a weird hard cut to corridors again. He somehow escaped through the door. Don't know. Bit of a weird cut. I'll be honest.
Well, Kenju22 puts in $5.
Thank you.
Calling it now. Mariner is haunted because she got someone killed or someone died under her command. It's why she doesn't want to rank up. Might be one of the reasons. Yeah.
I would say many reasons. I'm going to say it's be multifaceted. Like, everything went wrong. She's the officer where everything went wrong at the same time and she just cannot deal with it anymore. But as we said, not everyone wants to be... if you just want to be out there and have fun, you're not being a captain, are you? You see how much shit Picard gets into for being a captain? But yes, charge. And then because Boimler doesn't know the ship, he actually wanders into an airlock. And this I don't like, actually, especially on second viewing, how clearly we want to kill him. Like, there's no remorse. There's nothing beyond kill him, kill him, kill him. And considering that they are running around the ship unsupervised with their weapons, they're clearly not locked in their quarters. They're clearly not under, you know what I mean? There's no control in the ship. So it's tonally, it's really weird. I don't like this scene, this moment anyway. It doesn't work for me. It doesn't fit into the episode.
Well, it's a quick wrap up to the episode. It's like, hey, I love how he's like, look, I'm a freak like you. And he lifts up his shirt and...
I like that.
Oh, I'm normal now.
And you'll die like a normal too.
Yeah. Oh, you're normal now. Enjoy your walk in space.
I did love this payoff though, but the setup was a bit shit. But the payoff's good, and this for me I think saves the episode because yes, it's a genuinely good place. There is a medical symbol on the wall on the building. It looks lovely. This is real. The whole ship is dark and depressing, whatever, but no. Genuinely real. There was no darkness, you just inferred it. So without that, it would have been, evil Starfleet, but this is a good Starfleet. Just, he's not got the best bedside manner. I mean, to be fair, if you met the MH Mark 1 on day one, you'd think he's a really mean guy. So sometimes, certain things aren't as great, Yeah.
Yeah, his whole speech here, isn't it beautiful? The missions might be long, but it's worth it every time we get back.
Yeah, and he says that really like, I like this place. I like working here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the whole, next time I'll try to avoid a mutiny before it happens. Maybe paint the ship. Maybe paint the ship with some friendlier colors. Turn on some lights so it isn't so creepy. Enjoy your path to recovery, my friends. No, it's just how I laugh.
I love all that. It's great. That's good writing for me.
Yeah.
It's basically saying we know what we were doing. It was one big joke, but we are giving you a reason why. And it's okay. And then a hard cut to chilling on basically a beach, and it's just like, this is weird. I guess they're it does kind of feel like they're being sent away just to be out of the way in comfort.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Would have been nice if there was one doctor somewhere trying to.
Would have been nice if a doctor was like scanning them with a tricorder or something, like trying to, yeah. Or
like, this would have been great Rob Picardo cameo. There's like 9 EMHs here, and they're all like one per person, and they're all dickheads, like he originally was, and they're just dealing with it. It's like, oh my god, you're hideous. Then you get the other hard cut to 3 Pikes.
Oh God, with a yeah.
Bikini.
Before we do that though, we got a super chat.
Okay.
Olivia Julius, $5.
Thank you.
Attention, Dot and the Pug have joined forces. We need 200 likes or else they'll take over the whole ship.
Oh God.
Please hit like, please save us all. 166 likes. Can we get
Ooh.
200? Can we get to 175 first? Let's try for that. That's like
Okay.
9 likes.
I mean,
You
I'm
can do that.
ambitious. I'll say 200. I'm still gonna be ambitious. But hopefully, yeah. Click like.
No, yeah, the 3 Pikes chairs are interesting. The one guy has like a. Oh, never mind. That's fine.
Yeah, it's just the chair.
It's just the command color. Okay.
It's really
But yeah, the
stupid.
bikini's funny.
It's funny. It is stupid, but it's so quick that it's fine. You know. Yeah. It's dumb. And then you get the duck and the duck guy, and then again it's like, I went to warp 10, guys. It's gross, but it's treated like normal, and I appreciate that. You know. Oh yeah, it's just a warp 10 salamander. We get those occasionally. It's all good. It's all good. It's fine.
Mm-hmm. Then the emotional farewell to the dog that can stand and talk.
Because that's not a scenic, beautiful backdrop with beautiful glimmering water.
Well, this new place has many fascinating things upon which to urinate.
I mean,
Anyway, and it flies.
The dog was
too.
cute.
Why not?
The dog was cute, to be fair.
Yeah.
But what do you think of the payoff? Because this is the end of the epic dogs. Start as a spider demonic creature, and now it's a lovely flying friend. What do you think?
It was just kind of weird. I don't know. I don't know if I liked it or not. The dog's fine. She has no clue about dogs.
That was fun.
Of course she can talk. She's a dog. And Boimler's like, normal dogs don't do any of that stuff.
Yeah, of course dogs can fire lightning out of their mouths. What?
But normal dogs hover and spit lightning, right? No, none of that. Oh. Well, this is starting to make a lot more sense. Hey, you are a freak. Yeah, I just didn't want to worry you.
It's funny. It's just it wasn't built up fully. Like that could have been the entire episode. I'm glad it wasn't, obviously, but it could have been.
Yeah.
Although you would have thought she would Google dog first before trying to build it, rather than just going to Google Images. Because a tertiary, look. But yeah, I think this is just an example of a totally underdeveloped storyline. But also, I'm glad it wasn't in it more. It's weird. But honestly, it does feel like it's just something for Tendi to do.
Yeah.
And Rutherford, I just realised, Rutherford gets the start, and then where does he go?
Good point. Well, he does save the day. He beams everybody off the ship.
Yes,
but
he's there, and nothing in the middle.
That's typical, though. That's typical for characters like that, like
Geordi.
Geordi.
I just don't know. Well, Geordi gets way more than Rutherford. Jesus.
I know, but this is only season 1 of this show. Look at Geordi in season 1.
Yeah, but they had like 9. Well, yeah. But I do wish they clearly had an idea, but are not giving them any time. It seems very strange. It's not an ensemble show. It's the Mariner show with the make fun of Boimler hour every hour. Really, there isn't much. It's just very strange. Not that these are bad scenes, just Yeah.
Well, Boimler gets kicked off the planet because he's not a freak anymore.
But he almost gets some very special care and attention from 2 beautiful pink chicks. But they only like freaks. Ugh, you're normal? Ugh, I'm not into that. 4 arms or nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's so stupid. Yeah.
But
Well, they must have been super close to the Cerritos because that shuttle isn't going to get there very fast. So yeah. Very close.
Back to the Rubidoux.
Oh god, yeah.
Again, the ship's falling apart. The captain lady gets grabbed by a tentacle, and of course Mariner saves the day with her gravity boots, pulls her back. And actually it's a good team effort because Ramses fires the phaser at the same time, which is a great shot, by the way. I considered using that for my thumbnail for my first reaction review because it's just such a good shot. But anyway.
Yeah.
So they get to the bridge and they need to get out of there. The ship is falling apart, and it's just not a good scene.
But they managed to get through to the ship, the Cerritos. Some reason it's easy to get through to them here. Clearly, almost the entire crew is dead because there's only like 6 people or like 12 people on the bridge, so everyone's dead pretty much, which happens. And they say, right, we can't beam over quick enough, but we're not going to start beaming now. We're going to start beaming after we've decided it's not quick enough. Just because we want to use the transporters.
Yeah.
And as they're doing that, the bridge literally gets ripped apart, seam at a time, and then it cuts to the... For some reason, the bulkhead next to the bridge is cracked, but not to space. And then the window starts cracking, starts really cracking. And the scale of this window now, when you put a person next to it, is like 3 people tall, which is absolutely stupid. They say, use the special device. Do it now. Do it now. And then we get one shot of, again, the window just cracking beyond belief. Yes, sorry.
No, it's Rutherford's like, but it screwed up Boimler. It made Boimler weird. Well, boim us out of here. She says.
That I liked.
Yeah.
And then people get grabbed. The tension escalates. The bridge window cracks even more, and then we see it visibly burst open into space. And everyone, some people get flung out. You can kind of see one does. The bridge window has now doomed them all. Clearly on the edge of the ship. Clearly where it is. It's one single layer of transparent aluminum which gets broken instantly, and then for some weird reason. Actually, 2 of the officers are actually almost out. They're actually out of the bridge, based on the whatever. And where's the shot that they then it's getting even worse. And then the captain. Oh, you just haven't got a screen for it. But yeah, the captain. She fires at it, right? She fires at the thing, but she literally goes. Ch-ch. It's a gun cocking sound effect. A normal handgun cocking sound effect when she cocks her phaser to fire. It's like, wait, what? Very strange. It's small, but it's dumb. And yet they beam them all out safely. I guess they all survived. And then you see the bridge dome crash underneath them. Again, visibly seeing where they are. And yes, confirmed it is a bridge window. And yes, they have made that sin mistake.
And Fleet Boss Whitback puts in $2. Sam's Warp 10 salamander voice is creepy.
I see the universe.
But everybody's worried about the humming sound, the trilling sound, as they say. Why are we still in phase? And Rutherford's like, it's just cosmetic. It's just cosmetic. Woo.
And she's yelling because no one can hear her. But it also comes across as like, we lived, it's just cosmetic. But it's literally like less than 10 people that they got out of a crew of over 100. Wish they'd said that because they're too happy, considering. But hey ho.
And we see the destruction of the ship.
We do, and it's quite a nice destruction. I'll give them credit. Like it's a cool, sort of elegant destruction.
Well, see, and then her got her voiceover, her captain's log that says the evacuation of the USS Rubidoux was a success, thanks to the quick thinking of the Cerritos crew. No, we got everybody off. We, nothing like that. Whatever. Anyway, this exact classification.
Most of them are dead, and you wasn't quick thinking. You just ran to the bridge again. All you did was you went to your escape point. So no, it's a weird. But I mean, hey, you know what? She's gonna fudge the record. She got a ship destroyed by turning the engines on without scanning the ship first. So she didn't do a good job as a captain.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's better they're flawed than are perfect, and she's not the best captain in this, and that's okay. That's okay.
And we get the birth of an exact classification of the space entity eludes us. We believe it to be peaceful in search of a home. Yay! And then I love when Boimler comes back to the bar and Rutherford's like, "You're cured." I mean, see, I know you'd be fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he's like, "You got to make me a freak, at least a nice 2-week freak," which rhymes, which is great.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, that was nice. It was good to see that little moment. Just maybe. I want to have a holiday, mate. Come on, they were so hot. Yeah. And then
and Tindy gets licked by a dog.
And it mostly works as a moment, but also people walk their dogs. Like it demystifies. Yeah, you just you have dogs on the ship and you walk them. It's like, really?
Well, she was freaked out that it licked her, but it was her dog was licking Rutherford all the time in the bunk. So I don't know why that's too weird, but oh well.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, and then they just enjoy the thing, and they're in the bar, not 10 forward. We're back here. She's like, you know what? I would have given you promotion. It's still up in the air. Prove me right. Do cool things. Come on, babe. Come on. You can do it.
And Mariner's like, yeah, if I was going to rank up for anybody, it would be you.
Yes.
But I got a lot to figure out while I'm down here in the lower decks. You know, I want to see what kind of person I am, what I want to become, whether I want to be a captain, which I probably don't.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, the whole time, here comes Ransom fixing his hair and, you know, hits on her and gets flung over into a table.
So I like the Mariner her thing. It again adds a bit of mystique to that, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't think the throwing the table was justified, given that's assaulting a, well, not a superior officer, but that was full on assault. I get her jab. Like, I can see officers being like, oh yeah, it's automatic. But no, she physically assaulted him in front of everybody just because he was nicely hitting on her, which you do. So, a bit of an unnecessary assault. And destroying property as well. It's like, nope, you're not a hero there. He was being perfectly nice. It wasn't even being creepy specifically. It's just being, he obviously fancies you and he doesn't get to see you very often.
The whole thumbs up at the end, too.
Yeah.
Good one, Ramsey. That's kind of our thing.
Yeah.
I mean, can you just imagine if you think the scene's fine, put Riker in that position and see him get thrown through a table. You'd have a different view of it. You know, it's just not a cool thing.
And also, she did ask, has Mariner seen his penis in the earlier episodes? She was obviously vaguely interested in him.
His photon torpedo. Why do you keep saying penis? They're obviously talking about his photon torpedo.
Micro torpedo.
He's got one in his quarters.
Did you get it?
Yes, I did.
So, I mean, it doesn't make sense, and it's inappropriate, and it's just girl powery thing. It doesn't work. I mean, and the fact that he's fine with it is fine. It's like when Mariner threatens to kill him gruesomely, it doesn't work either, you know? But because he's like, oh, this is kind of hot, it works then. And because he's like, oh, hey, that's fine. But yeah, he probably, I mean, you know. But then again, he's already eaten human flesh or alien flesh this season, so it's not the worst thing that's happened to him. But yeah, inappropriate. And they stare out to the almost Farpoint alien as it wanders off to create a new life in the cosmos. And
with parts of the Rubidoux still attached to it.
Yes. And I wonder if
is it part of it?
Yeah, I would assume maybe, which isn't very strong committal, I know, but I kind of think like this might be actually a Farpoint alien, but still got the shroud of the pieces. If it didn't have that, it might look the same. Kind of wondering that. Yeah.
But that's it, guys. It's the end of the episode. Why are you still here?
I'm
just kidding. We gotta go.
Yes.
We gotta give our final scores. Just And guys, if you go on the super chat your final scores, please do so. I will read them after we give our shout outs and thoughts and scores and all that jazz. And Samuel will read the non super chat ones in the regular chat. So.
And we are $16 for being a round number, a good round number. So if we can get that, that should be fine. Yeah.
So anyway, actually the chat hasn't moved in a while. Hope everything's fine with that. The last comment I have is Judge 1981 that at least the Pike chair has a drink holder.
Oh god, that was a while ago, probably. You might want to refresh then, Stuart, and I will find the
I'm refreshing right now.
Page document which has the scores. Because that's important. I'm not going to remember them all. I have to remember the title of this. So yeah, put your scores in, guys. Out of 10 for this season of Lower Decks. I'd love to know what you guys think. Like I said, I'm more in the middle. You're more higher up. I'd love to see what we think. But what do you guys think? Where does this factor in the grand scheme?
Well, the Trembler throws in $5. Still wish they mentioned GMO laws, but because only at end the dog's revealed to be sentient, and Tendi seems not to know some things it skates by.
Very true. Yeah, no, very fair point. Very, very fair
All right.
point.
It's not a bad episode. I liked Captain Ramsey. I thought she was great for multiple reasons, but yet still not the best captain, which is fine. The whole them being in the academy together, her being a captain, and Mariner still being an ensign causes a lot of problems as far as time goes. Like we said, we think Mariner's probably mid-30s. Would be my guess. Boimler's mid-20s, so she's at least 10 years older than him. She's been on 5 ships, so that kind of works, I guess. But post-Dominion War, they're lacking captains. I can see people getting promoted pretty quick, especially if they're go-getters and do good performance. So no problem with her really being a captain, but it just seems a little weird. Her crew is kind of interesting, seeing the other aliens. The whole Boimler thing with the transporter being 1 milli Cochrane out was all right. It's kind of a weird premise, and I don't know how I feel about it. It's not really how transporting works, but whatever. Um, I mean, the whole story of the ship being transformed into this other being was very cool, and I would have loved to have seen that on like a actual TNG episode. That would have been fantastic. The freaks were a little concerning, just because to call them freaks from like the guy that's in charge of the ship, Division 14. It was cool getting Division 14 and having that kind of explained as to what happens to the red shirts and stuff that disappear. Something happens to them and next week they're just gone. At least they're enjoying their life and maybe have a chance of being healed. So that's great. But the whole them being called freaks, sharing the same room, being on a dark ship, it felt a little oppressive. And then I'm glad at the end it kind of got sorted out, and was fine because it was just a little bit too much. But that being said, seeing the warp 10 salamanders and things like that was a nice touch, and even the pike chair was kind of nice. So there's lots of really good little things like that. But overall, yeah, it's kind of disjointed and kind of all over the place. The dog didn't really work for me. There's the moment where it turns into the cube, I think, was the funniest part. I actually laughed out loud.
Would you say the dog worked better than Badgie?
Yes. Yeah. But yeah, so this is not my favorite episode, but it's also not my least favorite. Like, again, we're gonna have to wait till all 10 episodes are up to really rank them, because I'm interested to see what I'll say then. So.
And can I just, Devereaux says, I think that Marin's the same age as Boimler, just like 10 years experience on Boimler. I think she traveled around a bit with her father for like 10 years before joining Starfleet. Or she can't be the same age because she went to the academy with the captain, and Bourne was in the academy last year. Then she was in the academy last year, and the captain made captain in 1 year. So obviously they're different ages. I know they didn't go to the academy at the same time, but then she'd be older either way. So she's definitely older.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Olivia Julius, $2. Don't teach the pug to talk. Doom will come out. Yeah, and I didn't forget your super chat. Olivia, yeah, you sent that to the group chat before. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. I didn't. I'll get to all the super chats. Don't worry.
Yeah, we're doing the wrap up. And guys, we're $2 away from from one round number, and actually 12 from the bigger round. I'm just saying, we didn't. Yeah, Eugene does help, but 12 away. 12.
So my score on this, we're just scoring it for lower decks, aren't we?
Yes, and then we'll go back and retroactively do everything else.
Okay. This one's probably going to get a 6.5 out of 10 for me.
Ooh, that is surprising.
Is it?
Because last week you gave a 6.
What the hell was last week?
The one we don't like.
Which is what?
Well, the Badgie one.
Oh.
We both have a hard time remembering whatever happens at all. So that's 0.5 on that one. Which means it was your second least favourite, whereas before you'd said, oh, it's in my top episodes, but that would be your second least favourite if that was 6.5.
Well, then my scoring's all screwed up because whatever.
So are you going to stick with 6.5 or go to 7?
6.5.
Okay. That is I was expecting like an 8 from you. I'll be honest.
Yeah, no.
Damn, that was very fair then.
I mean, I thought it was better yesterday.
Okay.
And even earlier today, but then we started talking about it, and yeah, it's kind of gone down.
Because it's not that it's bad; it just isn't great, you know.
Yes.
And the bar has been set so well because most of these episodes they just fit, they flow, and you are so right. It's disjointed. That's his biggest problem. They honestly should have just removed the dog and given those minutes to everything else. You know, tighten up a bit. Give us more with the. With the alien guy. But yeah, so for me, similar thoughts in a lot of ways. It's not bad. It's not great. Not an ensemble show. I mean, neither was TNG, but at least they had sort of a trifecta. Really, it's just the Mariner, primary, Boimler, comic relief, stupid guy that stuff happens to, not because of. It's always he's the butt of a joke. Something stupid. This is not necessarily a bad thing, but it's every time. And that makes him not really a character so much as a joke. And therefore, he's going to be less and less interesting as time goes on because there's nothing to him, you know? He's a suck-up wannabe that stuff happens to that isn't their smartest guy. Okay, sorry, I shouldn't necessarily care. Tendi was good in this episode, but should have been given more. Rutherford was talented, but was given basically nothing, and that's a shame. But they do try their best when they do it. The guest captain was great. I like the idea, like I said in another review, that she, I don't get the sense she's massively qualified, compared to other captains we see in Trek. But she was given a promotion because, Dominion War, we lost a massive amount of our captains. And so we need new captains. She was promoted probably 4 or 5 years early, or a few good experiences early. But that's not a bad thing, just she's a little bit underexperienced, given how Mariner takes control of the situation, though she's been, for whatever Mariner's good at, even naturally, once you reach lieutenant commander for years, you gain experience that you can't as an ensign. So this captain is now well beyond Mariner in terms of ability. And so for Mariner to then beat her in how to escape makes the captain feel like a novice where she should be better. So that was a bit sad, but again, hero of our show, she's got to win out. Fine, whatever. Dog was okay, not overdone, not underdone. Bridge window was a shame, but I'm just going to ignore it because it was I'm hoping it was an in-joke saying bridge windows are stupid, because that's exactly why we don't use bridge windows. Stuff like that happens. The ship was a bit silly, but fine. Transport thing was a bit silly, but fine. It could have been better. Could have been worse. Definitely better than last week. Second least good of the season, just because it's not great. I'm going to give it a 6. Better than average, because at least it was consistent. We got some good references, some clever references. Better than average. I mean, to be fair, there is no average here. Because if that score of 6 is the second least good, then the average is great. But that's my gut. 6.
Cool.
And guys, we're over the amounts. Anything extra is extra, but thanks. And now we can read super chats and scores and see what happened.
Well, Eugene throws in 250 rubles. 7 out of 10. Funny episode, but Mariner's plot is a huge disappointment. The more ways of being lazy ensign are sophisticated, the more unboxing the mystery of her past is going to flop.
I mean, I think we are at the point, though, just like we're discovering Picard. They've set up a lot of stuff with Mariner. We're getting to the point we need to have a really good payoff of why, and if it's not a good payoff, it'll make us seem just like a uninteresting
Fleet Pass Swiftback $5 made are 175. Let's get to 200. Anyhow, best episode so far.
Wow.
It's going to be my first 9 out of 10 for the season. 10 out of 10 for Trek Yards, as always.
Oh,
Dog
nice.
equals Badgie. Oh, Dog and Badgie are equal. Okay. There you go.
Well, I mean, the dog at least didn't try and kill anybody.
Can we get 16 more likes to get to 200? 16 people out there haven't hit like.
Yeah, should be doable, shouldn't it? Be very doable.
$5, which is amazing. I am the pug in the Jeffries tube. I have taken over this pad. Till you can hear me again.
Hi. Welcome
Hi.
back.
I am the pug in the Jeffries tube. I have taken over this pad. You have failed in getting 200 likes. I am taking over the USS Trek Yards. That's just how she laughs. And Olivia Julius, $5. I get this episode a 4.5 out of 5. So I assume that's out of 5, because it's usually out of 5 with you. So.
Yes. Yeah. And guys, I'm not seeing that many normal scores, so please do put in the chat right now. You're just anyone can't see the chat, doesn't want to put them in right now. I'd love to know what the consensus is. I feel like we're getting quite a similar score, and often we are as a group, which I like. Not that we should all be like-minded, but I like when there's a sense of consensus. There's 139 of you. Come on, please put in the chat now your score out of 10. There's so many of you. And click like. We're only 15, guys. 15 away from 200. And those numbers do help the analytics. So if you can click like, please do. If you can't, find a way. And if you need to genetically modify a dog so they can create a YouTube account to press like, you've got a couple of minutes. If you can, please do. Do you like that, Stuart? Was that okay?
That was good. That was really good.
That was a good pitch.
That was very good, yes.
So I think you've trained me to think of bad jokes on the fly that I didn't used to be able to do, you know?
My job here is done. I can now ascend.
Yeah, let's have it. So, 8 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 7, 8, 6.5, 7, 9, 7, 7.5, 7, 5, 7, 7.01, 7.5, 7, 9.5, David, wow. Scroll, 5, 7.5, 7, 7, 8. Okay, 6.5, 7, 8.5, 5, 5, 7, 7, 8, 8, 7.5, 7. So Stuart, I think we're pretty much on the same bar. People liked a bit more than us. But most people haven't discussed it for 3.5 hours today. So those that do...
Yes.
And guys, did you see my uniform this morning? Or I guess, well, for us this morning, but earlier today. Did you like the uniform? Put in the chat, and if you didn't see me in First Con uniform, a video exclusive, check that out from the review earlier today. Please take a look.
Yes.
Yeah.
11 more likes. 10 more likes. 10 more likes to get to 200. And last super chat slot opened up now. Right now it's Olivia Julius who has the last super chat slot. So if you guys are interested and you want to super chat, please do. $1, $2, whatever, just to grab that slot. That'll be awesome. But 10 more likes. 10 people out there, 9 people now haven't hit like yet, and I know that for a fact. I can see you. I can see the thumb is not blue, which means you did not do. And I can see you. That's a lot of rhyming. Hit the like button.
Yeah, that. And who's excited for our episodes this weekend? We actually have a Trek Yards original coming out tomorrow. So a fan design ship with someone who regularly appears in our chat. You've seen him before in One Live where he was amazing. So tune in for that. So a lot of information ship, a lot of cool. If you like the technical stuff as we think you do, you'll be like, oh my god. Pen and paper, let's start making notes for the exam later. And Sunday we'll look at another ship as well. Huzzah. And then normal weekday stuff. And then our final 3 episodes, Stuart. A lot of stuff to look forward to. But that is, Stuart, pretty much our Lower Decks over for another week. This comes around every week, and then yeah.
4 more likes to 3 more likes
God,
to 200. And no last super chat slot. So Olivia Julius has scooped that up, I guess. Which is fine. It's fine. 2 more likes. Oh, ooh. Now 3 more likes again. What was that? Who did that? Why'd you do that? You can't hit it more than once. I wish you could, because otherwise that'd be, 2 more likes now. Who's going to be the last 2 to get to that 200? Matthew DeFritas, $2. What's the next big Trek Yards event coming up?
Ooh.
I don't know. Oh, probably the wrap up for this season of Lower Decks, which will be like, we'll have a review on Friday, and then Sunday we'll probably do the drunk season discussion of Lower Decks before Discovery starts.
4 days later, yeah. Which we've never had before. 2 shows back to back, which is pretty cool. I mean, no one's had that, to be fair. No one's had 2 Trek shows back to back ever. I mean, we've had TNG and DS9 concurrent, but not back to back. When was the last time you drank? Are you drinking much these days, or will Sunday pretty much just like me being like, oh damn, our tolerance is a bit screwed?
Yeah, I haven't drank in a long time.
So guys, save up your super chats to F us right up that day, and I'll have some more uniforms by then. So I might be doing another. Oh, sorry.
1 more like 200.
So I might be doing another uniform change out, which I had a lot of fun with last time. It's really silly, but I think
you should do it on. Cool. You should do it on camera though.
But then I'd ask for double super chats. Yeah, it would do. Just do I got bicycle.
And 200 likes. Sylvia clicked like.
Well done, you guys.
She got us 200.
Well done, you guys.
Squadra Course, $2. Yay for the fan ships.
Yes, it's a good one.
And Olivia, $1 to scoop up that last super chat slot. So
good.
Dun.
Good. Thanks so much, guys. This was fun. Hope you guys enjoyed. Check back to our review for good condensed set views. Yeah. I guess we'll see. Stuart might do live at the weekend or not. That is totally random. Not even he knows.
Yeah, I probably will be.
Okay. Good night, everybody.
Night, guys.